Hello YouTube world and people out there watching this. This is yours truly. I bet you don't know what this is, do you? That is a genuine London Transport, London Underground train whistle from a 1962 tube rolling stock. It's the genuine whistle off a 62, and as you can see, it's connected up to my 1962 tube stock cab simulator section that I've self-designed and built myself. There it is in place. So just looking how I fitted that up there, as you can see on the front, it's fitted to the front of the make-believe front of the train there, which normally used to be on the 62s. Used to be slightly offset at an angle because around about sort of here was the window wiper and it was concealed behind there. Going into that is a red air line which goes into one side of my water trap, and then on the other side the green coloured air line is the mainline air supply into the actual system. And the idea is as the air goes through the water trap, it bypasses that, well not bypasses it, but it goes through and collects any moisture created in the airline due to the high PSI. Now I need a compressor to drive this, obviously, because it's an air operated whistle as per London Underground design, so it needs air to make it work. So I've got a compressor in mind that will actually make this work, and I'll show you my compressor now. Somehow I don't think that's going to work. Don't be silly. That's more like it. Look at that monster. That is 115 psi, 50 litre compressor, roughly about 8 bar or thereabouts. So that is a beast. As you can see, that is a big old compressor, and I bought this off Amazon to obviously for this purpose. It's got a secondary tap on there, which means I can use other things for it if I need to, and I've got a few plans for the second one, but all will be revealed in a further video later on. Not right now, but down the line, excuse the pun, you will see it. Okay, more about the whistle, so let's go for a wander, Suey. So let me just stop this on the tripod and then we'll go for a wander, eh? Right, that's better. Hope you don't get too seasick. I'm on the wander with the camera, so you can obviously see what it's like inside. If you haven't seen this on the previous videos, now's a chance for you to have a look. Gave it a little bit of a repaint inside yesterday as well, so the paint looks a little bit bright and fresh, and it's still a little bit tacky, so I'm not going to touch too much. But one of the things I did obviously was put these nice chunky brackets to the left of the duplex gauge, which gives it much more support, and it allows me to actually physically unbolt it from the side there and take it off should I need to get behind there for the air conduit or the air mainline pipe to adjust it or repair it or change any alterations I need to do in the future. Okay, enough waffle about that. I'll talk to you about all of this bits and pieces in a minute, because I'm sure you want to see all that. But what you tuned in for today, what the world has tuned in for, you want to hear this whistle blow. And I'm sure many of you out there, ex-motormen and those that drove the 62s, are all dying to hear this whistle, because it's a really symphonic, beautiful sound in my opinion. Anyway, without further ado, I'll bring you over here. I'll chuck the cab light on so we can actually see what we're doing without getting my fingers too tacky with paint. Right, there we go. Now let's briefly explain where the whistle's coming in and out, and that way you can get an idea what I've done. If I just move this paddle out of the way. Right, so obviously there's your air line coming in there, which I've drilled a hole. Obviously I finished off and put some putty around there. It's still drying, and it's going to take a few hours or so to dry whilst I tighten that up. But anyway, that's in there. That pipe there's your air line. That comes in from the water trap that we saw outside earlier, and then it goes round the back of the duplex gauge, come down the outside there like that, around the back there, and there's your whistle button. Now this whistle button, it's not an LT one, but it's very similar to the ones used on the 62s. I actually got this from a company in the States, in Nevada. INTERSTATE Pneumatics is the name of the company. Fantastic company, great express delivery overseas, and really nice quality brass push button valve. This is which I've got fitted up there, closest thing to the actual whistle button used on the 62s. So there it is in position, just held in place with there's some brackets there. And I say the back of the other end of the whistle valve button comes out the back of that and actually goes via elbow joint into there, and obviously through the front of the cab window to the outside of the whistle. I'm not going to play around with this too much because obviously the paint's still a little bit wet, as you can see. Still got to dry. I've got to touch up a few little bits here and there, but other than that, she's good. Okay, so you want to hear the whistle blow. So without further ado, what I'll do, I'll blow it from inside the cab so you can hear how loud it is from outside, because it is quite loud. And then I'll take the camera outside and I'll blow it from inside, so, with the camera outside, so you can see that as well. Alright, here we go. Oh dear, someone's on the track. Isn't that lovely? That is a beautiful sound. That goes in the same category as a Stanier whistle, a Great Western Castle whistle, and an A4 chime whistle. That is absolutely a classic whistle. That's my ear whistle. So I'm well and truly pleased with that. It's currently working off maximum pressure, which is about 8 bar. Even though it's 60 psi, you can work it off there. To me, it was a little bit too quiet, and I wanted it a little bit loud to annoy the neighbours. Anyway, but yeah, that's what I've done. I built this myself. No help from anybody else. Put it in myself, designed it myself. So I think I'm the first person on YouTube ever to have a London Underground train cab with actual hardware from the actual train itself. Obviously, this is the duplex gauge off a car number 1679. We're not going anywhere because the air's leaked off. Above that, we've got the speedo, and then over here we've got obviously all the different coupling, uncoupling buttons, MG trip buttons, overload resets. And underneath here would have been a Bakelite switch. This would have been for the stabling light on the front when that got introduced around about 1971 2 onwards, I think, with the L sun visor there. Obviously round here we've got the rear bulkhead panel, and obviously with all the different buttons there. A little bit worn, but tidied up as best as. And these actual labels were removed from a 62 DM. I'm not going to tell you where it come from, but these are the genuine labels for traction control circuit switch, which is what that bit I've made myself, but the labels are actually off a genuine 62. What else? I'll tell you around the back in a minute. This here is a monitor. It's dark at the moment because it's not switched on, but it does play DVDs of Views Ahead of the Underground, mainly Central of course, such as the Onga branch before they cocked it all up down there, in my opinion. Well, if you like Steam, I like Steam, but I liked it when it was LT. Anyway, let's have one more blast of the whistle, and then we'll go outside and I'll blast it from the outside. Beautiful sound. Right, let me stop this and I'll go outside so you can see it and also hear it as well from the outside. Okay guys and girls, welcome back to the second part. So now I'm standing outside my cab simulator at the foot of my staircase, which is obviously mine, or can also double as a footbridge, I suppose. Anyway, I've got a little bit of trouble with my train today. I need to get hold of the car examiner. So I'm going to blow the whistle from inside the cab while standing outside, and you can obviously see the whistle. More importantly, it might sound a little bit louder actually standing next to it outside in the open, as opposed to blowing it inside the cab with the door shut. Alright, so one more time. Let's annoy the neighbours a little bit more, shall we? Come on, where's that car examiner? go. Hope you enjoyed that. As far as I'm aware, don't quote me on this, maybe I'm wrong, hopefully I'm wrong, but I think I may be possibly the only person on YouTube who has a working London Underground genuine air whistle working and connected up to an air supply. The only other one that I could think of is the boys and girls down at the Epping Signal Cabin. And if you go on Facebook, please do check out the page. It's wonderful, and I urge you to sign up and join it because it's fantastic. What we're trying to do as a group, we are currently restoring the historic Epping Central Line old signal cabin, and we're going to get it as near enough as to original condition, and it's going to have a frame in there that can be demonstrated to people of different movements back in the day. We've also got the magnificent mighty L11 Acton shunter, which was formed out of 2 standard stock driving motor cars. That's been beautifully restored, and it's currently still being restored at the moment, but her whistle works on that as well, so that's where I got my inspiration from. But anyway, today, as far as my channel, thanks very much for looking in today. Hope you enjoyed this. This will probably get numerous plays on Facebook and social media. Hope it does, and I hope you enjoy it. And I promise I will get back to doing some more railway stuff very soon. So there's another thing to annoy the neighbours with. If not playing my drums was bad enough, now they're going to get the blast of the 62 whistle. The mighty 62 whistle! Yes, that is for you, Mr. Paul Andrews and Mr. Rob Harriman. Have it, and why not indeed. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that, and I'm sure there's something different to show you today. And I'm quite proud, actually, that being big-headed. I did this all myself. No one actually told me how to do this, or any instructional videos or documents or diagrams. I just literally figured it all out myself, sat down with all the equipment, ordered it, and then put it all together and done it all myself. So I'm quite pleased. The only thing I will say is, guys and girls, is that if those of you that are familiar with the London Underground battery locos, the whistle valve on the battery locos is roughly about that same position, slightly on the downset on this side of the cab, on this side of the panel, rather than being underneath the duplex gauge where the 62 whistle used to be underneath there. But unfortunately, because of the piping configuration, I couldn't get it to stretch around there without kinking the pipe too much and creating with the problems. That's why I've fed it around the back of the duplex gauge down and to there. The actual colour of the pipe was red, so I could have had it central line red, but I painted it blue to match the rest of the infrastructure around it. Anyway, paint's still drying, but the whistle is blowing lovely. So there we go, that's that done, and I hopefully will see you soon and give you a shot of my train number there. Of course it's train number 62 and why not indeed. And I'll see you later, and thanks for looking in. Mind the doors.